Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rational Discourse Weekly. This is episode 24, filmed on Tuesday, June 11th, 2013. I'm William Garrison.
And I'm Michael Aune.
And we talk a little bit this week about Reddit and a subreddit of atheism and how some changes have kind of taken it back to its roots and fostered a healthy discussion about atheism.
And then we talk about Star Trek, and we're not sure why. But anyway, enjoy. Oh, wait. Spoilers. I say something incredibly vague that might be construed by someone who's only already seen the movie as a spoiler. I guess, first of all, sorry for not having a podcast last week. I moved to a new location. Same city, better locale, but I was busy carrying couches and not worrying about the state of godlessness in America.
And on that topic, an advance notice, I'll be going out of town next week, so it'll probably be another week lapse till another episode goes up, but, articles and random goodies will still go up on the site, and this will still be out on a normal schedule, so keep an eye out.
And we will have had, it's very weird, we do these on Mondays, and they're edited through the week, and then they're posted the next Monday.
Yeah.
So I write the articles usually in between filming and posting.
Yeah.
So I always have to backdate everything. So there will have been a new article
right before this posted, a few days or whatever.
Probably it should have been on Friday. So check that out. It's describing how to approach an argument with a theist. If you're actually having a meaningful argument, certain things I think we need to watch out for, given the importance of religion in certain aspects to people.
So is this kind of in preparation for a potential debate / interview / guest we might have at some point?
I would like it to be, yes. So
okay. I don't want to spoil anything, but we're in talks with a coworker of mine.
We've got people reaching out to people who know people, and there may be things happening.
So we may have guests in the future. As you might know, we had on an episode, probably 6 episodes back or so, we had...
no, it was like 10 episodes back. Phil?
We had Phil on an episode. That was at our old studio.
Yep.
And it was a pretty good times. It was well received, and it was good to have a new, fresh face and voice on the podcast to give an interesting viewpoint. And having a Christian on the show...
an actual, college-educated Christian.
Right. Someone that went to school for Christianity, basically. For... theological studies.
Christian theology, I guess, would be.
So it'll be interesting. Anyways, keep a lookout for that. We'll obviously broadcast and advertise the hell out of that once we get around to it.
I'm also trying to get one of my now roommate is the son of a Southern Baptist preacher. And so I think he's got a very interesting viewpoint because he's not religious, and yet I think his experience with religion has left him apathetic as opposed to, oppositional towards it. So
similar to what Phil was, not quite the same from what you've told me about.
Phil was more devil's advocate, but, anyway, we're moving towards that format. That's our goal.
Yeah.
And we still want, and we've asked and no one has done it, but that's fine because no one watches these. We want suggestions, comments, topics, things you'd like addressed, maybe, our opinions on, I don't know. Not the Kardashians, though. I won't talk about that.
I don't know much about them.
If there's proof that there is not a God, it's the fact that the Kardashians are as successful as they are. I'm going to add that to the list of proofs. In any case, things we actually do want to talk about, related to the topic you're probably here to actually listen to, would be the very interesting sort of, I want to call it a civil war because it's very dramatic.
But I'd say to level it, it's like a reinvention or a rechristening.
It's the introduction of rules and order to our atheism on Reddit.
So it's a subreddit it's a subforum of reddit.com if you're not familiar. /r/atheism in the past had kind of become of a collection of some stories and discussion, but mainly videos, pictures, memes.
It was mostly imager links to, sheltered suburban mom, or was it Dick Jesus, or I don't know, any Velociraptor.
Basically the things that atheists wanted to see to kind of brighten up their day a little bit, make them giggle, whatever.
It was black. It was black humor.
Yeah.
It was poking fun at religion primarily,
But-
usually offensively, but there was no real substantive content anymore.
Right.
True atheism had sort of spun off as a subreddit by frustrated atheists who could no longer have meaningful conversations on atheism because they would tend to get downvoted to oblivion, which sucks because, our atheism has, over 2 million members now, according to the page, so it's a big audience, apparently the largest online presence for atheism, and basically if you actually wanted to talk about atheism in any meaningful way, or religion,
Yeah.
it wasn't going to happen.
It wasn't fostering that discussion.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see, if you go to reddit.com/r/atheism now, it's pretty much what the subreddit was originally designed to be. Lots of discussion.
A forum, not just...
Right. Lots of discussion, videos. Like the number 2 post when I looked earlier was a guy basically saying he was coming out as an atheist. And
Getting married on August 3rd, and I finally told my mom that I am an atheist.
So those kinds of discussions
And
are
it's
good.
got 1,000 upvotes.
Because then more veteran atheists like us...
veteran? You're a
yeah.
newbie. You don't get to claim veteran status. You
Uh,
haven't been in the trenches once.
Well, more than just mentioning,
No, I know.
Can kind of come in and, give honest feedback about our experiences in life. And it's that kind of like positive feedback and those pats on the shoulders that atheists sometimes need to be like, hey, not only are you not alone, but your world won't crumble beneath you if you tell everyone that you don't believe what they believe.
Well, sense of community is important, too, because I think that's something that many, especially people who have come to atheism from a religious background, probably feel a loss of community. And I think online is a natural extension where you can go out and quickly find people of like mind and potentially engage with them in a way that makes you feel not so alone. So taking the largest online presence with atheism slapped on the front face seems like a good thing for that. But I have to say, I sort of get I'm happy about the change, but I get why people are pissed. I do. Because it was also a place where many atheists just vented. And now I think that, based on the rules, that's effectively gone.
Right, it's what it is.
Snark is no longer the default for our atheism.
So, let's say the sheltered suburban mom or whatever that meme's called, I don't remember. But it was usually something like, I overheard this, or my mom dropped this one on me before. It's like, what I remember all the time is the top of the meme said, it's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion.
Yeah.
Comments like that can have some interesting discussion, and people can be like, look at what this dumb person said.
But that's what it turned into was, haha, look at how.
That's what it turned into, what it should be, and why this is, like you and I agree, it's a good change, is instead that becomes a thread where it can be like, look at what my mom said today, discuss. And then they can be like, rather than, I've still
been there, my mom said something similar.
It's a more constructive venting, I think, than just a random image that people are going to post on Instagram and retweet. And
Well, and I think that's important because there is the simple fact that atheism is, it's a negative definition. You don't believe in something. Well, how important is a unicornism to you? Probably not very much. But effectively, God's on the same plane. So atheism is sort of equally unhelpful for telling me what I should do, who I should be, how I interact with the world. So this is where people who are living with that lack of belief, I guess, can, sort of bring people out of the darkness and say, hey, it's not necessarily totally meaningless to hold this belief. There are various ways to hold it. Here are how some people deal with it. Here are how other people deal with it.
Here's why it's important that you tell people that, are deeply involved in your lives.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily condoning, like, going door to door and be like, hi, I'm an atheist. Here's a pamphlet discussing my beliefs and handing them an empty sheet of paper.
That's a great little one.
As one joke.
As one of
comment.
the memes that was on Reddit,
Right.
one of the Imager links that popped up.
But to basically have that direction and discussion about why it's important to tell people we're atheists or what that means, how that impacts.
Positivity is important. I think that's the key change, is it went from a negative forum for bashing something to hopefully, and based on the changes over the last couple days, a positive forum for people coming together in a way that's constructive. Not necessarily against religion, but simply for the people who are atheists and maybe feel alienated and ostracized a bit, or, you know, I'm coming out, this person's getting married and they're worried about telling their mom they're atheist. Like, that's a terrible thing that you have to worry about. Your mom potentially flipping their shit because, oh my God, you don't believe in God.
Right.
You might ruin my best day of my life.
The fact is, and this is how I feel, and I'm guessing Michael agrees with me, with a growing community of atheists and with a growing number of even just non-religious people in the United States, we're going to get to a point where it won't even be assumed that someone's Christian if you live in America, or you won't have that same fear.
Wait, let me just think about that.
Dream a little dream.
I dream a dream. No.
You know, and not having that same fear where, again, like telling parents, grandparents, loved ones, whatever. I see a lot of discussions about people that are in marriages where they have an extremely Christian or religious, because it's not necessarily just Christian, spouse, and how they're dealing with that in general. Because usually there's a lot of, if they're extremely religious and then you have an atheist on the other coin, obviously there's some differences on how you want to raise your kids, on what life means, and
yeah. Well,
so
how about something as simple as this? One of my close friends has moved in with their significant other, and their parents, who are deeply religious, are basically in complete denial that this is happening. They know that this one person bought a house.
Okay.
And that their child is moving all of their stuff into the house. But they're acting as if the child is not going to live in the house. What? And it's all based on this idea that, like, they cannot cope with the idea that someone isn't adhering to the same sort of
their God's
ideal
laws.
that they have. Yeah, God's laws, as it were. And these are deep familial issues. This is someone who's not torn because they're going to do whatever they want, which is to move in with this person, but
it's the right choice.
You're torn between, like, I can't even be honest with my parents about a relationship that I'm serious about, and this is a big life event, and I can't share it with you because you'll just flip your shit and... What? No, that's crap. And that is the sort of thing that I think people need help with. I think they need that sense of community, and I think that's where it's sort of the thing I think that Atheism Plus, which is a super controversial subset of
people have stopped talking about that now, but
it's still out there. You can go find it. But the idea is that atheism being effectively meaningless, if we're going to be atheist and we're going to be proactive, we have to have something else. So if we're going to have something else, what is it? Now, they're advocating for basically secularism, humanism, maybe skepticism, which are all things I like, but due to political issues, basically with the people who sort of are the figureheads of this movement, it's become a shitstorm. In any case, I get why these sort of changes are maybe out there. People are tired of atheism being sort of a negative vibe. Let's make it positive. Let's do something with it. If we're going to belong to this group, why not be helpful? Why not be positive? Why not try and advance the idea of, or the motivations for atheism, as opposed to just, God's stupid, Jesus was a dick. It's not helpful.
We've talked about it in previous episodes about the term atheism being like a definition that means very little.
It tells you one thing you don't believe.
And because of that, atheism is like one of the more open communities. Like, because it's not... The only terms for entering the club of atheism is that you do not believe in a God. That's the only... You can be any race, age, color, species, if somehow we can talk to dogs.
You can believe in angels and ghosts.
Right.
And still be an atheist. Now, how you square that, I mean, that's a different philosophical issue, but it's so meaningless.
But that type of open community, it's something that r/atheism needs to be. It's what this helps enable. And really it's best for the community and people that are atheists as a whole, because it's like being an atheist doesn't mean you can't be yourself. It's literally just putting a definition on your set of beliefs.
It's one descriptor.
Yeah.
On one belief you hold, or lack thereof.
And a lot of us use that descriptor. I use it all the time. Use that descriptor to start conversations, to make people aware.
I think it's a positive descriptor, but it's only positive in light of the world in which we live, which is a world, particularly in America, dominated by Protestant Christianity and a fairly vocal Christianity. So religion is a big part of our lives, whether we want it or not. So being an atheist only makes sense because the opposite is so prevalent.
Yeah.
500 years from now, if religion is just an antique, a mythology we study in our history classes, you would never, ever, ever say it. I saw a link here on atheism that was, as a Swede, like, coming out as an atheist is completely weird to me. Because in Sweden, the atheist population, I think, is in the 70s, 80th percentile. The default assumption is that you're atheist, so why would you ever come out as an atheist? It makes no sense.
Right.
So it's only definitionally useful in the context of the society in which you currently live. So for us, being an atheist actually is a designator that is meaningful. And then you go to Sweden and it means nothing. You're like, why? What are you talking about? Of course you're an atheist. Everyone's an atheist.
Yes.
You're a Christian? You weirdo.
Weirdo.
Not as in, is here, you meet someone in Georgia, like you move in and chances are you're going to get, hey, what do you do for a living? And then followed by, where do you go to church? And that's not weird. That's just sort of how it is.
Right.
And that's fine.
For the record, we go to church at the Gaming Pit on Wednesdays. It's a gaming store.
No, speak for yourself. I belong to the church of I sleep in on Sunday. Actually, I don't. I have to work on Sundays, which is sad. But I sleep in on Saturday, which is the Sabbath for some people. So either way, I'm getting mine. Damn it.
Every day is an atheist Sabbath.
Every day is an atheist holiday.
Yeah.
Because you're still here. Enjoy.
That's a book by Pendulette. I don't know if you knew that, but...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that, actually. Yeah. I probably subconsciously knew that, which is why I said that.
It's his newest book. I've read God No.
Nope, you're right. I have seen some stuff about it. Because, it was The Apprentice, right? Wasn't he on Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah.
And supposedly because of that book, because he made fun of Donald Trump in it.
Yes.
Donald Trump was like...
Because he...
You're a good businessman, but you don't got God. And so he went with, like... I don't know, some country singer or something.
They had a competition where they had competing ice creams that were sold in Walgreens, and evidently, I haven't read all I haven't seen the show, but evidently Penn's ice cream sold more, but Donald Trump didn't select him.
Nice.
And
well, you mean Donald Trump is a dick? No way, man! You're blowing my mind.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of that guy, but no,
I am a fan of his hair though. That's just
his
awesome.
Weird. It's a tribble for Star Trek fans. It's like
just sitting there.
It's a being of some sort.
At night he lies down.
It's a straight hair.
And it feeds.
Tribble, like a flat tribble.
Yeah, it's got long luxury. It's a purebred.
Yeah,
purebred tribble. All right, we've devolved to Star Trek. We're probably done at this point.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll keep it a little short tonight, but
actually, I will say this though: go see Star Trek, the new one. So good.
They included tribbles in the new Star Trek.
It's actually a key plot point, which is hilarious. Tribbles? What? If you don't know what tribbles are, go on YouTube and Google it. No. We're getting commentary from the gallery.
Spoilers, guy, come on.
Key plot point? You're going to get mad at me for key plot point.
Yes.
How?
Hey, no spoilers. That's all I'm saying.
We'll put a spoiler alert in the beginning.
Sirens.
If you're watching this at this point, hopefully you've already seen at the very beginning a big thing that said, warning, we will be completely ambiguous or vague about a particular thing in Star Trek, the new movie.
There's no reason to say anything.
Anyways, the movie was amazing. Benedict Cumberbatch was awesome as always. And it's a must watch.
So we're just going to be all over the map today. We're getting back in our groove. You take 1 week off and it's like we don't know what we're doing.
And then I'm about to take another week off. So.
And you're about to take another. So, God, I don't even know what's going to happen with the next one.
Anywho.
He might not even have a shirt on. I don't know. I'll make sure he's shirted.
I'll Hulk out of it. Because I'll be so ripped.
What are you going to do? Are you going away for a week to become the Hulk?
I started working out next door. So.
Oh, okay. So that's how it works?
It's bicycling, so I don't know how that equates to hulking. Anyways.
I biked once, and then I tore all of my shirts apart. Anyway, we've completely lost the thread. Thank you for bearing with us. We will be back in 2 weeks-ish. There will be articles out in the meantime, though. Check back. Should be Friday. Saturday at the latest. And we will see you then.
Thanks for watching.